Hi. So I um I wanted to film a part two to the video I put up the other day where I was like sort of catching up on all the things, all the hot topics or all the topics in the media that were sort of piquing my interest and I wanted to react to. Um, and in the in that video, I mentioned that I was having some problems with my arthritis, and it was demotivating me. And um, the only person who really comments on my videos, Punk Reggae Party, mentioned that they wanted to hear more about what's going on with my business, and so I figured I would just take some time to catch up on that, and because they kind of tied in. So yeah, I have some arthritis that is apparent on my spine, like at my um, like where my neck and my rib cage, so the cervical spine and the thoracic spine, where they intersect, and at my right shoulder, I believe, and I mean my left shoulder and on my left hip. And as a person who's aging, 43 years old, the winter time or when it gets colder out or damper out, yeah, it just affects it, and every year it kind of switches where the inflammation goes, and um, so the middle of the summer actually, I had a really bad flare up, like right in the middle of my back, and um, it just caused me a lot of distress. And also, I think I was just really, really stressed out. The pandemic had affected me in ways that I really, of course, didn't expect. And there was a lot of emotional toll. There was a lot of distress in my family. I moved several times. Um, and as usual, the moment I decide to start doing a video, somebody decides to start doing lawn work. Anyways, but yeah, so it kind of just all came to a head, and stress does affect inflammatory conditions like arthritis. But I had pretty much like figured that all of the shopping I was doing for my reselling in eBay, I was I was learning and I was aiming for like a really successful holiday season. And in the midsummer, when the flare up happened, I decided that I would slow down and focus on just, you know, keeping the inventory and just sort of, I don't know, just take a break and pause until holiday season when I thought things would really pick up. But over the past 3 weeks, I have been completely demotivated, and it's like this vicious cycle with arthritis where you are demotivated and then you want to take advantage of your motivation, so you work out a little more, you do a little more, it causes another flare up, it makes you a little more stiff, and then you're demotivated, and it's just sort of like these really bad cycles of like longer recoveries with spurts of energy. And I've just been trying to take it easy and just keep reminding myself that, the reselling business, it's something I've always done. I've always been good at finding things that I could flip, that I could at least, they almost, even if it was, even if I was selling them for less than I got them for, or um, I don't know. It tends to even out. Like there's part of it that I shop for. I would buy things that I think are just unique. It might have some resale value that I end up not really feeling like they start taking up space, and then I'll undersell just to get rid of them. And then there's a mix of that, and then there's always stuff that people give away or stuff that just gets sat out on the curb for free. I have free alerts on my phone, so I'm all there's a management so that I don't have like a huge death pile where I don't mind letting some things go for less. Where, for instance, I had a Burberry jacket I couldn't fit anymore that I got for free years ago, and I sold it on Real for hundreds of dollars. And then there was, a period where I was really I really wanted to learn reselling shoes, and I was out on Mercari buying lots of shoes. Not even lots. I bought about 6 pairs of shoes that I've been holding and watching on StockX to see if they have a flip value or anything that goes up or down. Some of them I've resold, just taking them to a Plato's Closet or something like that, and lost some money. But for the most part, I've kept a lot of the shoes and a lot of the higher value shoes, like the Air Jordan ones and so forth, and just I was planning to have those listed for the holiday season, but with these flare ups, I've been very wary about overextending myself between the eBay selling and doing my normal side hustles, which are DoorDash and Lyft and Uber. I have barely been able to work over the past week. Having an arthritic flare up in your neck, it makes it almost impossible to sit up, and which then affects your mood. And the one thing about delivering food is you don't have to keep a good attitude. Having a good attitude and being talkative helps with your tips, and it just makes driving easier. It makes you more alert. It makes me more alert if I'm engaging with passengers in that way. So if I have a bad attitude because I'm in pain, it makes it harder for me to interact. Everything sort of like is a snowball effect. So, um, I know people who have, like, I've seen major cases of arthritis where people, can't move and things are completely stuck. Um, and just having a taste of that from time to time, it really, gives me a lot of empathy for anyone dealing with major rheumatoid arthritis or any flare ups. This is something that kind of runs in my family, inflammatory conditions. My mom deals with chronic pain. I've always had chronic pain. I've always had like things like easily like cramped up legs or cramp. When I was a kid, I would get these crazy cramps in my feet. Um, and like just hobbling, my foot would turn completely like sideways, like it would be crazy, and I wouldn't tell anybody. I just thought it was uh, they hurt so bad that it was almost funny, and I guess it's just it was embarrassing a lot of times that they would just happen. Um, and then as I grew up, it turned into Charlie horses, and then just sort of like intermittent back pain with this weight gain that I've had over the past several years. It has definitely not helped. It's been a big part of why I've been really keen on uh, losing weight this time in this phase of my life, a healthy, sustainable way, not just, killing myself in the gym and calorie deficits and just living in a deficit. So yeah, I mean, I know this is kind of rambly, but yeah, this is just kind of the picture of what life is like right now for me. Luckily, I am in a position where I did set myself up that, if the life I have right now, I live below my means. I live in I rent a room in a share house where I share responsibilities with other members in the house. I rent my car for a Lyft. So if worse comes to worse, I can just take the car back. I don't have to worry about like not working enough to make the payments. But also, working enough to make the payment on the car um, isn't hard to do. So like between my lower rent from my choice of how I live and how I manage my car, the only other expense I have is my storage facility for my um, eBay selling. And actually, I did pretty good this year. Like I basically broke even already with the things I purchased. So the fact that I'm missing out on this holiday season isn't really hurting me that badly. What a lot of people don't know about the holiday season is even though a lot of us think of Christmas and Hanukkah as the main gift giving season, actually it's January for a lot of people. A lot of Catholic people, they celebrate feasts that go until what's called Epiphany, which is the middle of January. And there is continued gift giving throughout that period. Also, a lot of people just like to continue gift giving in January and shopping in January because of tax returns. So, a lot of people have gotten their bonuses and a lot of things that they probably wouldn't have gotten or they didn't get in December or November because of the mad rush or they just weren't paying attention. They'll probably shop for in January. So I'm not really that worried that I'm not on the ball when it comes to my eBay selling. Also, it is kind of stressful to deal with going to the post office and arranging shipments and so forth. It is not um, a walk in the park. It is hard work. I hadn't gotten to the point where I set up a shipping in my a shipping like station. I didn't get a scale and a postage maker and all those things, which were things I was learning about. I mean, honestly, at first I just wanted to see if um, which platforms worked, how they worked, go through the ups and downs. Um, you know, I wish I did have like a great editor, and maybe I will do it anyways. Like the top lessons I've learned from um, sort of experimenting with eBay and just reselling in general. Um, it is a fun way to make money, but I would definitely say the number one lesson I learned is that um, for the most part, there's free stuff everywhere that can be sold. So there's, going to thrift stores and buying things to be resold or um, even going the route of going on sites where there's like local sales. Like I learned from sneaker reselling, for instance, that there's a lot of young people who sell their sneakers, their parents buy them sneakers, or who knows where they get the sneakers from. But there's a lot of young people who do the sneaker hustle locally because they don't understand shipping and so forth, and they don't have the patience to put things on eBay, or who knows, whatever reason. They could be probably stealing the shoes from their uncles or something like that. Who knows? But it's a lot easier for them to sell locally. And that's because the reselling market for sneakers is it's a very niche and it can take a while. And you know there are certain shoes that they develop cult followings, and you just don't see it at the time. So you need a little patience, and that's why a lot of sneaker resellers have larger collections. Besides the fact that they have like shoes that they just love. Um, like I got a pair of the Air Max BLMs for 2020 that to me that's a historical shoe. It's a shoe that was limited edition Black Lives Matter as a movement is something that is just a big marker in our history, and the 2020 as a whole was this landmark year in social justice and movement, and I just kind of like having the shoe as a sort of totem for that marker of that period. But I could see that shoe selling for much more in the future, and I'm not like amped to sell it, even though I got one that's like not my shoe size or anything like that, but as like an art piece or an artifact of the time. I think it was worth the low investment that I made. I bought the shoe, I believe, for like $90, maybe $60. I can't remember now. And that's the other thing about that I realized about reselling. You can track so that are profiting from what you have bought and sold. But the truth of the matter is, it's not that cut and dry unless it's like all you're doing. Like, say for instance, you took $10,000 and you went out there and bought certain shoes, and you wanted to get at least a 10%, 20% profit. Yeah, you could do that. But like I said, it's not really worth it, because on StockX, that shoe might be showing a 40% profit, but that means nothing, because there could be somebody in your neighborhood who wants that shoe and they're willing to pay you 300 times what you paid for it, but just because they want it, and they want it now, and they can afford it. So you just never know. It's just one of those worlds, sneaker reselling in particular, that its value is really hard to quantify. It's a pursuit of love for people. So I'm okay having this storage that's holding those shoes. I have a lot of vintage clothes in there because that's the market that I really love, and a lot of those things I'm just keeping for no reason, honestly. I do have this fantasy of having my own little curated thrift shop someday, but only if I can live in the back or above it. And, a lot of things in my storage also are just like personal items too. So it's not like it's all just taken up with reselling things. So I just feel like the 2 or 3,000 that I invested in the storage unit, and the 2 or 3,000 that I invested in a lot of the things I bought, I've made half of it back. I've made at least what I spent for product back for sure. And I'm not sure what I'll do going forward. I cannot believe this construction. It's literally been dead quiet all day. Or maybe it hasn't. Maybe I just didn't notice. Um, but yeah, so basically, my reselling is a death pile right now of books and DVDs and games and clothes and shoes, all highly curated. Some things that I've found on the streets, some things that I've bought. I do feel like I've broken even so far with at least the things that I've bought. And I don't feel bad that I'm not caught up with the holiday rush, because, like the things that I purchased things that have, to me, an evergreen stamp of approval in the markets, like clothes that are just adorable, and just things that somebody's looking for, and shoes that somebody's looking for, pieces of art somebody's looking for. A lot of the books, DVDs, and games that I got for free. People just set them out. Like, uh, I'm not. I'm not a gamer, so I don't know. I don't know whether or not the games have value or not. I know that they're not for they're not worth nothing. So getting them for free is was worth it. But yeah, I'm going to be okay with being okay right now. I didn't do any of the things I've done. None of the side hustles. Not driving Lyft. Not doing DoorDash. Not eBay reselling, or even like trying to do a YouTube. I didn't do any of these things to become a billionaire. I did these things because they are much more authentic to how I like to spend my time in my life than getting up and polishing myself off to go and do something for somebody else for a 9 to 5 and make an hourly. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at today, and I still have hot topics I want to talk about. I especially want to talk about the Jussie Smollett case because I have a completely unpopular opinion about it. I am done with the Dave Chappelle thing. At this point, I just like really want him to just retire and go away and never speak of him again. And that's about it. Other than that, have a happy holiday season. I hope that you are um, living your best life somewhere and, really filled with holiday spirit of generosity and kindness and light and joy in these crazy times. So, bye.